Hello everyone, good evening. I hope you can all see me and hear me as well. I'm gonna just log into my on the side. I gotta log in and see if there are comments. All right. Okay, so I think I'm live now. All right, let me just get this setting up right. Okay, so welcome to the class. We are going to do some instant subtraction today. I hope you're all ready. My name is Anup. I'm a certified Vedic Math educator at Unacademy. I teach primarily Vedic Maths here. Yeah, so quick introduction, something about Unacademy. I'll just, and then we'll just do this for the next 5 minutes and then, get to our topic today. So I hope you're familiar with Unacademy. If not, I highly recommend you check this out. Unacademy has a number of, initiatives out, in the last couple of months. One of the main features, that's, if you look at what's new with Unacademy is Unacademy Ask a Doubt. Just give me a sec. Sorry about that. ഇല്ല വാതിലടയ്ക്കാൻ. So there's a new feature on Unacademy Ask a Doubt. So if you're not familiar with it, let me give you a quick insight. Asking a doubt is an essential part of any learning process, right? And I think Unacademy has done a great job in terms of facilitating this for you. If you look at some of the features that are there, it's very easy to ask a doubt. It's you get an instant video response, and this is free for all subscribers and non-subscribers. So I highly recommend you check this out. Try out all the features. Try out as much as possible on Unacademy before you really want to get to a subscription. But those who are already familiar, I highly recommend you start your subscription to get value as quick as possible. Right. So some of the features of the plus subscription, of course, having access to unlimited courses, top educators of India on one platform. That's one of the best benefits of technology platforms and e-learning platforms, especially Unacademy, because Unacademy has built a pool of great educators that you can learn from, and of course a lot of features around practice tests, live test series, mentorship guidance, and also downloading the study materials in PDF format. So new batches start every Monday. So this is the pricing for Unacademy plus subscription. It starts off with you have a monthly subscription. I highly recommend you start off small and then add or extend if you feel that this is working out for you. But I'm sure it will, because given today's competitiveness and access, the boundaryless learning, that's the options that are available today. I highly recommend you check it out. Unacademy iconic subscription takes you one level higher, compared to the plus subscription. There are certain students that might need that extra bit of guidance, that extra bit of personalized learning and planning. So if someone is learning a concept in 7 days, somebody might take 10 days, but ultimately you end up getting the same goal. So iconic subscription is for those who need that bit of extra help. So an iconic subscription has its own subscription rates. You can check this out on the Unacademy website. If you use this code, you get a 10% off, Anup YT10. There are a lot of other events also happening. For example, the Revise-a-thon. It's a free one-day revision marathon, curated especially for learners of class 10th and 12th. It's happening on 21st February. It's absolutely free, a limited slot, so enroll for it. And, winners on that, get an Academy Plus subscription for 1 month. So there's also, pre-boards preparation for class 12th. That's also completely free. Just check it out and enroll for it. And the best part of Unacademy is Creative Corner. Creative Corner is essentially a platform itself in which you get access to different skills, whether it be Vedic Maths, of which the session you're going to hear about today, robotics, coding, negotiation, financial literacy, chess, and whatnot. So these skills help you develop your personality as well, right? And everyone, each learner, right, especially the young learners, have some of the other talent which is not discovered, and Creative Corner helps you uncover that, with a lot of exposure to different sessions from educators very well versed in their fields. You get to choose and decide which is the best passion for you to go after. So do check it out. And they also have some interesting YouTube series where you learn a trick. Suppose you learn a magic trick, you have an opportunity to actually put that on YouTube and share that across to everybody. You become a Creative Corner star, right? So star creator. So download the Unacademy app. There are a lot of free features to try it before you really go for the subscription. So I highly encourage you check it out. Okay, so that's a quick summary, and let's get to today's session. We're going to talk about subtraction. And let me quickly get to the okay. So one of the first concepts that I want to introduce to you is something called the complementary of a number. Okay. Okay, so the complementary of a number, right, and it's from the nearest base. So when I tell a base, right, I mean actually 10, 100, or 1,000, or a 10,000, right? Any of these numbers are base. So when I tell the complementary of, what's the complementary of 6? The complementary of 6 is 4, because 10 minus 6 is a 4. Right, so that's one reference, and we will use this a lot in Vedic Maths. Okay, so it's just some foundational here. Now, if I want to find the complementary of 3883, what I simply do is I'm actually finding out what is 10,000 minus 3883, right? The nearest base to this number is a 10,000. Okay, so what I do is I simply do all from 9, last from 10. But what do I mean by that? I subtract all these numbers by 9 and the last one by 10, right? That's what I do. So 9 minus 3 is a 6, 9 minus 8 is a 1, 9 minus 8 is a 1, and 10 minus 3 is a 7. So this is how you find a complementary. So I said all from 9 and last from 10. This is one very important sutra in Vedic Maths. Okay, so so remember this. Just as you absorb it, you will get familiar, and next time when you see some problems, especially subtraction, you'll find how useful it is in terms of the sutra. And we'll get more. We're just getting started here. Okay, so 98. Very easy, right? I mean, you don't even need to do all from 9, last from 10. 100 minus 98 is 2, right? There's one exception to it. Like if this rule, if I'm doing 470, the complementary of 470, and if I apply that rule, all from 9, last from 10, that doesn't apply actually, because 0 has to be skipped. Okay, all from 9, last from 10 is just applied here. All from 9 is 9 minus 4 is 5, 10 minus 7 is 3, and then I bring that 0 down, and that's what it is. That's my complementary. Okay, so for numbers ending in 0, ignore that 0 and apply the sutra on the remaining numbers. Okay, so now I know you will be wondering why I'm using this. So let's look at a few subtractions now. Okay, so I am looking at subtracting 1000 minus 864. So what do I do in the sutra? Alt from 9, last from 10, right? So the best part about subtraction is, okay, so all from 9, last from 10, right? So I keep memorizing this, right? I mean, this all from 9. So I don't even need to write this, right? I mean, I don't need to write all this 9, that, right? I keep writing it 9. 9 minus 8 is a 1. 9 minus 6 is a 3. 10 minus 6 is a 4. So this is very, very, very basic. There's nothing rocket science in this, right? I hope you can get this, right? All of this is all from 9, last from 10. See, essentially what you're doing here is, what you would have done in your traditional maths, and what you're, traditional in the sense what you do, what we are all used to do today is, we carry forward, right? We try to borrow a 1 and everything becomes a 9. The last one becomes a 10, right? We don't need to do all that steps essentially, right? It's known that you'll have to carry and all this will become a 9. So there's no need and hassle to, to borrow and write here 9, borrow, right here, and then make this a 10, and then do subtraction. There's no hassle. Just keep it free, right? Just write all from 9, last from 10. That's what it is, right? A few more examples here. Now, notice this. When I am subtracting 1000 minus 43, right? So one thing is, I need to ensure that I pad it all with zeros, okay? Wherever I'm missing, if I'm trying to subtract a 10,000, it's very simple, right? I have 2 digits here, I pad them with 0. It doesn't make a difference. 0 before any number doesn't make a difference. It doesn't change the number at all, right? So again, I apply the sutra here, all from 9. So 9 minus 0 is a 9, 9 minus 4 is a 5, 10 minus 3 is a 7. Just try this at home, and how you've been doing traditionally versus what you've been doing now, you will notice that you will get a few seconds advantage of getting the answer faster, right, in your head as well, right? You can think clear, right? That's the whole objective, right? So in Vedic maths, the idea is we don't look at numbers as, we are all, a lot of you would be scared of big numbers. When you see big numbers, oh, I'm going to do this, right? The beauty of Vedic maths is that you look at single numbers and then subtract them, right? And not just subtraction, any operation, right? Even be it division also, and there are beautiful techniques in division. I've done some videos on that. You will see that we operate on single numbers, and it makes it a lot easier, and there is a pattern, and with single numbers you repeat that pattern, and that's how you solve complex numbers, okay, mentally as well. Okay, now let's look at another variation here. Now earlier, and I'm slowly taking you one step one step into more difficult subtractions. Okay, so if I look at the only difference was here is that now instead of 1,000 or 100, I have 600, 5,400. It's one and the same thing. I can still apply the sutra. The only difference is I make this as one less. That's all, right? This one is one less. That's it. So 6 becomes a 5, 5 becomes a 4, 4 becomes a 3, 5 becomes a 4. So if you see, and then on these red boxes, we simply follow that same sutra, all from 9, last from 10, right? So all from 9 is 9 minus 7 is a 2, 10 minus 7 is a 3. So that's your answer, right? 5,000 minus 123, 5 becomes a 4. Remember, 1 less, right? 5 becomes a 4. All from 9, last from 10. See, if you see it, right, it's logically, right, you have 5,000s in that you're subtracting 123. So 1,000 is already gone, right? 1,000 is gone from it. Like there will be no more one like 1,000. You have 5,000s, that 1,000, from that 1,000 you're taking 123. So there will be only 4,000s left, right? Simple, right? So it's natural only. There is nothing new, or there's no trick as such in this, right? It's just that you're thinking very clearly. That's all. So 5,000 minus 123 is 5 becomes a 4. 10 minus 9, 1 is an 9 minus 1 is a 8. 9 minus 2 is a 7. 10 minus 3 is a 7. So that's what it is. So try this at home. You'll find it that as you deal with more subtractions, we'll get to it now. We still only have 15 minutes, right? So now another variation of it, right? Suppose I have 8,000 and I have some number here as well, right? So the only here that the pattern that you will do here is reduce by 1 more than 4. So what do? I do reduce 1 more than 4 here in this example. So I reduce 8 minus 5. 8 minus 4, 1 more than this. So that's how I get 4. 5 minus 2, I get this, right? Then you apply the sutra, all from 9, last from 10. So 9 minus 2 is a 7, 9 minus 2 is a 7, 10 minus 2 is a 8, right? Simple, right? So I'll just repeat this. When you're doing this number, when you have all digits here, which equivalent digits here on both sides, when you're subtracting both sides equivalent digits, you subtract this by 1 more than this. That's it. 8 minus 4 plus 1, so 8 minus 5, right? 8 minus 1 more than 3, 4. Then you apply the sutra which you're all familiar with. We already did this, right? So this is another variation of it. Okay, so that was a quick quick subtraction from base numbers or multiples of base, like 10, 100,000 or 20, 200, 2000, 3000. So you can try this with larger numbers and you will find that you're doing this faster. Initially it might take a little long, but you will find this doing a lot faster. Now let me come to another very, very important concept. It's called bar numbers. This is one of my most favorite things in Vedic maths, because bar numbers help you simplify any kind of problem in arithmetic, right? Whether it's addition, division, subtraction, and we'll talk about bar numbers now. It's very interesting representation here. Okay, so yeah, so if you look at this clock, right, what do you see? I mean, some of you might tell, the time is 6:50, right? And some of you can also tell that it is 10 minutes to 7, right? But it's one and the same thing, right? Whether you tell 10 minutes to 7 or whether you tell 6:50, it's one and the same thing. So that is how I can represent 19. I'm representing 19 as there's a bar here, okay? There's an animation on my slide which I'm not going to be putting, so that animation, this minus sign goes and sits over here actually. So 19 I can write it as 20 minus 1. You all agree, right? 18 I can write it as 20 minus 2. So I will write this in this representation like this, that it is 2 1 with that minus sign and setting on top of it. So I call this 2 bar 1 and I call this 2 bar 2. So that is how I represent this, okay? And this representation is very important to understand. Look at this now. 59, I will write it as 59 is written as 59 is written as 60 minus 1, so it is 6 bar 1. 88 is written as 90 minus 2, 9 bar 2. So it is basically subtracting from the nearest base and converting that number to a negative number form. So 88 is the same as representing 9 bar 2. Okay, 76 is the same as representing 8 bar 4. Okay, so I hope you're all with me here. Very simple, very easy concept. Okay, so that means some of you just joined now, so I hope you are okay. So I hope you're getting this now. Okay, so we are just talking about bar number representations. How do you represent certain numbers, especially those ending in 6, 7, 8 and 9. That's where you'll find it useful. But understand this concept now and you will connect to it when you really get to solving some problems using bar numbers. So simple is, you're talking about 19, I represent it as 2 bar 1. 18, I represent it as 2 bar 2. Okay, 59, I represent it as 6 bar 1. 88 is 90 minus 2, 9 bar 2. 76 is 80 minus 4, 8 bar 4. Right? So let's get to the next slide now. Okay. So this was just a quick exercise, but again, I'm just repeating the same thing. 49 is 50 minus 1, 5 bar 1. 78 is 80 minus 2, 8 bar 2. 66 is 70 minus 4, 7 bar 4. Now the other way also around, right? If I write a number as 6 bar 1, how do I convert it to real form? I will simply subtract 60 minus 1, 59, right? 60 minus 1, 59. That's what it is, right? Okay, there you go. So 7 bar 2 is 70 minus 2, which is a 68. 5 bar 3 is 50 minus 3, which is a 47. Okay, so now let's look at some subtraction. Okay, and this is where you'll find it interesting of how we are dealing with subtraction slightly differently here. Okay, so 83 minus 68, this is my simple subtraction problem. So what would you do when you're doing 83 minus 68? Oh, I see 3 and 8 here, so I will then do a carry from here, right? I will put 13 here and I will subtract 13 minus 8, I will get a 5, and 7 minus 6, I will get a 1. So I'll slightly change the approach here, but it's all one and the same thing, right? Arithmetic is at the end of it, the answer is going to be the same. So whichever way you get it and whichever way you're doing it, you're going to be always right. In maths, that's the beauty of it, right? If you get the right answer, however way you did it, that way must be right only. Okay, you will always be doing right way. So now I'll tell you one thing. When you see this number, right, when this is small and this is big, you worried, ah, my God, I got a small number and I have a big number now. I don't like it. But what if I tell you, go ahead and do the subtraction, do it the other way around now. 8 minus 3, that's very easy, right? I will buy 5, but only on one condition. Now I got to put this little bar sign here. Okay, I got to put that little bar sign there, and then I will do 8 minus 6 as is, right? So I get 2 bar 5. Now remember from the earlier one, what did we do? What was 2 bar 5? 20 minus 5, so 15, right? I know you might be wondering, I got to convert it this way, isn't that the other way faster? But for small digits it's okay, but when you have larger digits, it is going to be easier to do this way. Okay, so 5 6 7 minus 2 7 9. So when I subtract 5 6 7, so 7 minus 9, I will put a bar sign here as I told you. 6 minus 7, I put a bar 1 here, and 5 minus 2, I put a 3. $567 minus 279, right? We're doing this. I hope you got it now. 7 minus 9 is a bar 2, because I'm taking a smaller number here, no? Smaller number, this bigger number minus the smaller number. I'm just reversing it. So I write a bar 2 here, right? 6 and 7, I will write a bar 1. And 5 and 2, I will do the same thing. Now I know that I've got 312. And you know what 312 is? 300 minus 12. I can write it as 288. Or if you remember how we were doing that sutra, all from 9, last from 10, I reduce this 3 by 1, right, and becomes 2. All from 9, 9 minus 8 is a 9 minus 1 is a 8, and 10 minus 2 is a 8. So that's 288, right? So so essentially you're converting this bar number to a positive number using the same method that we saw earlier, right? So let's look at a few more examples and then it'll be clear. 543 minus 168, right? What was I doing here? 543 minus 868. I just take this big number and subtracted the only one condition that I told you. I need to put a bar number sign, right? I need to put a bar number sign, right? So I put a 5 and a bar here. 4 and a 6, I put 2 bar. 5 and 1 is as usual 4, right? So this is 4 bar 2 bar 5. So it is effectively 400 minus 25. I know the answer is 375 easily, right? 400 minus 25. Or you apply that sutra, all from 9. This 4 becomes a 3. Remember, 1 less. 9 minus 2 is a 7. 9 minus 5, 10 minus 5 is a 5, right? Again, you must be wondering, what, I can do it faster that way. It's okay, right? It's okay. You can deal with larger numbers, but when you deal with larger numbers, this method will come to your rescue. Okay, now we'll see it, right? 737 minus 558. 8 minus 7. See, the one very fact is that you don't do a lot of carries here at all. There is no carries here, right? You're doing subtraction without carries. Otherwise, subtraction is a lot about carries itself, right? There's a lot of carries in subtraction, and we're trying to avoid that, right? So 8 minus 7, doing the simple, your mind is easily able to subtract 8 minus 7, bar 1, 5 minus 3 bar 2, 7 minus 5 bar 2. You will get this answer very quickly, right? You will get this answer almost instantaneously, right? 2 bar 2. Then it is about converting it from this bar number, which is again easier. But when you get this in this form, you're already in your first 2 or 3 seconds, you've already got 80% of your answer. Then it's about just converting that, and this, once you master the conversion from, using the sutra of, converting that complements, finding it from the base number, then you will find it a lot easier, right? So because you're doing 200 minus 21, that's why I'm applying that sutra. No, it is subtraction from a base number, right? So 2 becomes a 1, 9 minus 2 becomes a 7, 10 minus 1 becomes a 9. Okay, let's look at a few more examples. 804. Actually, in my slides, I'm not playing the animation right now. Otherwise, this red box that you see keeps moving from right to left. Okay, and that's how when we do each one of the operations, right? So 804 minus 3, 88, right? 4 minus 8 becomes a bar 4, right? 8 minus 4, that's what I do. 8 minus 0, I put a bar 8. 8 minus 3 becomes a 5, right? Now again I convert it. I know, see, if you're thorough with knowing what 500 minus 84 is 416, else you just simply apply the sutra. All from 9 last from 10. 5 becomes a 4, 9 minus 8 becomes a 1, and 10 minus 4 becomes a 6, right? So same here again, 5, 6, 7. I'm just giving you more examples so your concept becomes refined here. 9 minus 7 becomes a 2, 7 minus 6, 1, right? Bar 1, 5 minus 2, 3, 3 bar 1, bar 2. I simply convert it into, using the sutra. 3 minus 1 less than 3 is 2, 9 minus 1 is 8, 10 minus 2 is 8, right? Look at longer numbers that is coming now. See, when you have longer numbers, that you will see that how useful the method is, right? Simply 9 minus 4 is a 5, 3 minus 2, 1, and 3 minus 0 is a bar 3. So 3000 minus 315, you've converted it. Now I want to show one slight things that can come. You can have bar numbers in between also, right? But so how do you solve it? Look at it this way. 3 minus 1, I got a 2, right? 4 minus 8, bar 4, right? 8 minus 5, bar 3, 6 minus 2, 4. So this is essentially to be seen as 400 minus 34, that's all. And this 2 will come down. So when I solve this 400 minus 34, this 4 will become a 3, 9 minus 3 becomes a 6, 10 minus 4 becomes a 6. That's how you get your answer. So bars can come anywhere. So take it from the nearest base, subtract it, and then make it a positive number. So that's how you move forward, okay? Look at this example more now, right? 7103 minus 3991. So 1 minus 3, 3 minus 1 here is a direct 2, right? There's nothing to this one about it. Directly you subtract. 9 minus 0 is a 9, bar 9. 9 minus 1 is a 8. For those of you just joining now, remember you're doing subtraction as very easy method to do subtraction without any carries and without worrying anything. The only condition is you need to put a bar sign here, and we are converting that bar sign to a positive number. That's all we're doing here. So 3 minus 1 is a 2, 9 minus 0 bar 9, 9 minus 1 bar 8, 7 minus 3 4. So I have 4 8. This 4 bar 8 bar 9 is equivalent to 400 minus 89, right? And 400 minus 89, I know how to convert it using my sutra. All from 9 last from 10. 4 becomes a 3, 9 minus 8 becomes a 1, 10 minus 9 becomes 1, and that 2 becomes there itself. So 3 1 1 2. Now look at this number where you got effectively after that 3 bar 2 bar 5 4. So what do? You bring that 4 down. So you know that this is 300 minus 25. Some of you might instantly write the answer, right? Instantly, the moment you get 3 bar 2 bar 5, I know that it's 300 minus 5. That becomes a 275, 2754, right? So do you want to practice this, and either we can do it together? If you can put it on the comments. We have 5 minutes, or actually about a minute only left. So I don't know whether we can practice, but try this out quickly. Some of you, those who have joined late, I'm sorry, you might have to rewind a bit, skip the first few minutes and then start it, because we've covered maximum in half an hour. Okay, this is good learning that you're doing in half an hour, bite-sized videos. That's one benefit of looking at bite-sized. I don't like to review more than an hour videos. Half an hour is just right, actually. In fact, 1 hour is also okay. You get to learn a lot, but half an hour is perfect. You can get to learn a lot in that. Okay, so So I think I'll, in the interest of time, I would leave it to you to practice at home. But let me do one problem here for you. Okay, so I'm going to go slow here. Okay, so 4 minus 1 I know is a 3, right? I put a bar 8, I put a 2, and I put a 1. So I know that this is 120 minus 8 and a 3, right? So 120 minus 8, 1, 1, 2, 3. That's all it is, right? 2, 4, 5, 6 minus 1, 8, 9, 4. I'll put a 2, a bar 4, a bar 4, and 1. Right, so this is my answer. Now I will use the sutra to convert this, right? 100 minus 44 it is, right? So this is 0, 9 minus 4 is a 5, 10 minus 4 is a 6, 2, right? This is the answer. 8002 minus 6591, 2 minus 1 is a 1, bar 9, right? Because 9 minus 0, 5 minus 0 is a bar 5, and 8 minus 6 is a 2. Now I will apply the sutra again here. So this becomes 1 less than this. 9 minus 5 is a 4. 10 minus 9 is a 1 and 1. So this is my answers. Okay. So you are getting it more, without that carry business at all, right? In fact, you can skip this over a period of time. I'm sure you can even in your mind itself, when you get a bar 5, you can actually convert it, right? And that comes with a lot of practice. Okay, so I think that's all we had for this session. Quick half an hour just went by, right? Zipped past. So I'll just quickly recap if possible. So we were finding the very first thing that, we were finding complementary of numbers, and this complementary of finding the complementary of numbers, you can use the sutra all from 9, last from 10, right? So remember the word complementary or nichilum as well. Yeah, and we were using this to subtract from base numbers. So blindly, without any carry, when you have a base number like 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, or whatever it is, always the sutra will apply. All from 9, last from 10, right? That means you subtract all the numbers from 9 and the last one from 10. That's all, right? Only exception was when you have a 0. As I told you at the end, you skip that 0. You can't apply the rule for everything else, right? Except the 0, right? Any 0 in between is okay. 0 at the end. Okay, and when you have less numbers, you pad it up with zeros and apply the same rule, right? So in fact, essentially, right, when you are trying to solve numbers, so you would be 43, right? So what I mean is you need to add, there are 2 digits here, so you need to add 2 more zeros and then apply the sutra and then solve it, right? That's what I meant by padding zeros here. Okay, so we talked about when it is not a 1, when it is always a 1, it was becoming a 0 automatically, right? So when it was a 1, this was effectively becoming a 0 automatically. But when you have any other number other than 1, more than 1, in fact, you will reduce that by 1, right? And then apply the sutra on the rest. And then when you have equivalent number of digits on both sides, you will reduce by 1 more than this number. So this becomes 8 minus 5. How did I get 5? Because 1 more than 4. 8 minus 4. And then you apply the sutra, right? So we talked about bar number. Bar number is essentially a representation in Vedic Maths where you can convert higher digit numbers, like ending in 6, 7, 8, 9 to a negative form, and we will use that not just in subtraction but in division, multiplication, has a lot of applications. Okay, so 6 bar 1 was seen as a converting it, and you will convert bar numbers into positive numbers as well. You say it like this, right? So subtraction is done using this way, where you don't fear doing any carry. Instead, you subtract it the way you feel comfortable from the bigger number minus the smaller number. The only condition was to apply the bar sign and then use what you've learned to convert the bar numbers into positive numbers. Okay. So that's what we did. We did a couple of practice. Good. I think we did at least 7 to 10 problems, which is nice. We did some practice at the end. So thank you very much. Do visit Unacademy. And as they say at Unacademy, let's crack it. Whatever your goal will be, practice, learn, spend good quality time learning, and then that will help you in the long run. Okay, with that, I'm signing off, and I will see you in the next session at the same time tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.